Yep. Welcome everyone to the Township Council Workshop meeting Monday, March 10th, 2025. This meeting is now called to order. Councilwoman Patel, please lead us in the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please read the statement of public notice.
Take notice that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in accordance with NJSA 10:4-8 and NJSA 10:4-10 as follows. Notice of the meeting was prominently posted on the bulletin board at the municipal building located at 225 Main Street, Little Falls, New Jersey on January 14, 2025. Copy of the notice was sent to the North Jersey Herald and News and the Record on the same date. Additionally, a copy of the notice was filed in the office of the Township Clerk on said date. A link and a telephone number to join the meeting virtually can be accessed on the Township website at www.littlefallsnj.gov. Electronic provisions have been established for the public to participate during the public comment portion of the meeting.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember Patel?
Present.
Councilmember Murphy?
Present.
Councilmember Hablitz?
Present.
Councilmember Vanchery?
Present.
Council President Scoba.
Present. Mayor Damiano, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Council President. Before we get to honoring all of these girls who had a tremendous cheer season here, we have a few proclamations that we're going to read this evening for the month of March. And March happens to be a pretty busy month here, not only in Little Falls, but across the nation, with a lot of recognitions over the course of March. The very first of which this evening is our National Women's History Month proclamation, which is right in line with all of the women that we're honoring and all the girls that we're honoring tonight who won all of these cheer awards. So we will start with our National Women's History Month proclamation. And it reads, whereas women of every race, class, ethnicity, sexual orientation, gender identity, and abilities have made historic contributions to the strength of our state and nation in countless recorded and unrecorded ways. And whereas in overcoming discrimination, harassment, and hardship, women have been bold and fearless, never giving up on the promise that with hard work and determination, nothing is out of reach. And whereas in remembering the trailblazers of the past and the heroines of present day, we honor their legacies by carrying forward the valuable lessons learned from the powerful examples they set, whether teaching our children, caring for our sick, serving in our wars, starting businesses, serving in elected positions, or venturing into unknown frontiers. Generations of women believed their gender was no obstacle to what they could achieve. And whereas during Women's History Month, we recognize the advances we have made in this state for women, but acknowledge that more needs to be achieved so women can gain gender equality and access to the prosperity of this state. Now, therefore, I, James Belford Damiano, Mayor of the Township of Little Falls, hereby proclaim March 2025 to be Women's History Month of the Township and encourage all residents of Little Falls to join in this observance. The second proclamation we have this evening is our proclamation recognizing Ramadan. And it reads, whereas Ramadan is the holiest month in the Islamic calendar and marks the first revelation of the Quran to the Prophet Muhammad. And whereas Ramadan lasts 29 to 30 days based on the timing of the crescent moon. And whereas Muslims around the world observe the month by fasting each day from sunrise to sunset. And whereas the daily breaking of the fast, called iftar, is often celebrated by family and community gatherings. And whereas Ramadan is regarded as a time for spiritual reflection, increased awareness, and giving to the global poor, sick, and hungry, and a bridging of differences between people over a shared commitment to faith. And whereas Ramadan reminds us that Islam has always been a part of America, and Muslims have made extraordinary contributions to our country. And whereas the end of Ramadan is commemorated by the Eid al-Fitr festival of breaking of the fast, a joyous occasion marked by sharing sweets, gifts, and other tidings with family, friends, and neighbors. And whereas the Township of Little Falls joins with Muslims around the world celebrating Ramadan this year. And now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Mayor James Belford Damiano, on behalf of the Township of Little Falls, do hereby proclaim February 28th, 2025 to March 29th, 2025 as the month of Ramadan in the Township of Little Falls, and urge all residents to support our community members who are observing Ramadan. The third proclamation we have this evening is World Down Syndrome Day proclamation. And it reads, whereas people with Down syndrome make significant contributions to the fabric of life. They participate in the workplace, run their own businesses, take part in religious activities, create art, music, and dance, excel in sports and recreation, and pursue studies in schools, community colleges, and universities. And whereas Down syndrome is not a disability, nor is it an illness, it is a distinct culture within all cultures with its own beliefs, customs, language, and common bonds. People gifted with an extra chromosome transcend borders, socioeconomics, color, and ethnicity, bring with them a richness that enhances the lives of those they touch. And whereas World Down Syndrome Day is recognized worldwide as a day to raise awareness of and celebrate the many accomplishments, contributions, and talents that people with Down syndrome bring to the communities. And now therefore be it resolved that I, Mayor James Belford Damiano, on behalf of the Little Falls Township Council, do hereby proclaim March 21st, 2025 as World Down Syndrome Day in the Township of Little Falls. The next is one that, although we all tend to celebrate it on March 17th, is one that is dedicated to true Irish American heritage, the true Irish American heritage, and this month's proclamation. And it reads, whereas in October 1990, the 101st U.S. Congress passed Public Law 101-418, which established March 1991 as Irish American Heritage Month, and the President issues a proclamation commemorating the occasion each year. And whereas generations of Irishmen and women have helped shape the idea of America, overcoming hardship and strife through strength and sacrifice, faith and family. And whereas we celebrate Irish American Heritage Month, we recognize the Irish people's contributions to our country. And whereas the Irish are inextricably linked to the growth of the United States in fields ranging from literature, education and science, to politics, law enforcement, and military. And whereas we owe a debt of gratitude to the Irish American inventors who have helped define our country as the land of opportunity. And whereas we celebrate the sacrifices and contributions that generations of Irish Americans have made to build a better America, and we renew the bonds of friendship that will forever tie Ireland and the United States. And now, therefore, may it be resolved that I, Mayor James Belford Damiano, do hereby recognize March 2025 as Irish American Heritage Month in the Township of Little Falls. And the final proclamation we have this evening, before we get to recognizing all of these girls that are sitting extremely patiently over here, is our Holi Proclamation. And it reads, whereas Holi is the vibrant Indian festival of colors, marking an end to winter and the arriving of spring, symbolizing the victory of good over evil. And whereas Holi will be celebrated on March 14th, 2025, with the Holika Dahan bonfire in the evening of March 13th, 2025. And whereas the period of Halashtak, which involves certain restrictions and preparations, begins on March 6, 2025, and ends on March 23, 2025. And whereas the festival involves playing with colored powders, water balloons, dancing to festive music, and enjoying traditional sweets. And whereas Holi is regarded as a time for colors, joy, and togetherness. And now, therefore, may it be resolved that I, Mayor James Belford Damiano, on behalf of the Little Falls Township Council, do hereby proclaim Friday, March 14th, 2025 as a day to celebrate Holi in the Township of Little Falls, and urge all residents to support our community members who are observing Holi. All right, now that we are through all of our proclamations for the month of March, I'm going to lose my voice before we get through the end of the night. We have the recognition of two of our Little Falls competition cheer squads this year who have had quite the outstanding season. Let's give them a round of applause. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to call Amber Bracco to the front to help me with calling everybody up here. The first group that we are going to acknowledge this evening is going to be our Junior Gems 10U squad, who took second place at Impact Montvale, first place at Wayne Valley Invitational, third place at Impact Brookdale, first place at the Hackensack Cheer Challenge, first place at the Hackettstown competition, and first place at the Secaucus competition. So what a tremendous season from our 10U Junior Gems. Let's hear it for them as we call them up front. All right, I'm going to hand it over to call up all the girls who had quite a season.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Amber Baracco. I'm the exiting commissioner. This is my last year with this amazing program. All of these girls are just the best group of girls that a person could ever coach. I've been so blessed. This is by far the best team I have had in all of my years, and I'm very sad to see them go. I'm actually going to hand this over, though, to their coach, who is responsible for their success, Jackie Moran.
Hello, everybody. Okay, I'm going to start with, unfortunately, I don't want to do it this way, but the first one is my daughter, Alessia Slavchev. Next, we have Avery Stoles. Next, Brooke Wagner. Next, Dylan LaJoy. Next, Ella Fortier. Ella Larinoff. Juliana Kunha. Liliana Perina. And Valentina Rodriguez. Good job, girls. You had a great season. I'm very, very proud of all of you.
Take a quick picture with them.
Oh, yeah.
All right, the next group we are going to call up is our 12U Senior Diamonds, I'm sorry, our 14U Senior Diamonds, who took first place at Impact Montville, who took first place at the Wayne Valley Invitational, page 2 for all these wins, first place at the Impact Brookdale, first place at the Hackensack Cheer Challenge, second place at the Hackettstown competition, and first place at the Sea Caucus competition. What a tremendous season.
Okay, so I'm going to call up, first I'm going to call up the girls who are not graduating the program, and then I'm going to leave the 8th graders to last. First up is Taryn Hannah. Next up is Emery Almendinger. Next up is Juge Casal. Next, Ian Kim. Juliana DeMarco. Gabriela Paez. Anna Kiefer. Not here tonight, Stella Saggio. Ava Gonzalez. She's not here tonight. Zoe Newcomb. Sophia Hart. Harper Burrell. Not with us tonight, Olivia Verdi. Also not with us is Olivia Maraglia. Allie Bush. Ava DeLucia. Not with us tonight, Aisling McAvoy. Also not with us tonight, Samantha McGinn. Kayleen Estrella. Evelyn Montez. Lila Caban, but her mom's here to represent. You can come up and get it. Imani Claudio. And I'd like to call up our captains of our 14U Senior Diamonds, Francesca Butler, graduating 8th grader for last year at the program, and of course, the fabulous Olivia Baracco, also graduating the program. I can't say it enough. This was the best year to go out. You guys are amazing. I can't talk too long or I get emotional.
All right, everybody gather in for a team photo. I'm going to ask Amber to stay up here with us for just a couple of minutes. Because after 10 help that she provided to all of our Little Falls competition cheerleaders, and with proclamation this evening forever. So, it reads, whereas resident of the Township of Little Falls. Or not, I'm going to start again, so that everybody at home can hear it too. It reads, whereas Amber Baracco is a longtime resident of the Township of Little Falls, and whereas Amber has dedicated 10 years of her time to the Little Falls Football Parents Association, and whereas Amber has proudly served on the LFFPA as cheer commissioner and cheer coach for 9 of those 10 years, and whereas Amber continually invests her passion and dedication into the program. And now, therefore, I, James Belford Damiano, Mayor of the Township of Little Falls, on behalf of the Township Council, do hereby recognize Amber Baracco and commend her for her continued volunteerism and dedication. Thank you, Amber.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna say right now, Karen, number 2, Ryan. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Thank you, thank you,
Thank you.
I don't.
Got him, Melissa?
All right, this is the part of the meeting where everyone is certainly welcome to stay for the rest of it, but it's also a perfect time to leave if you don't intend on staying. So have a good night, everyone.
It's the ground where, watching see in action. Yeah, that gets going. You don't want to.
Yeah.
You don't want to see how this stuff happens. That's
Yeah.
You're gonna be very-
Just know it's very fun in there.
Oh, yeah.
I had to sit anyway. Job, proud.
All right. Go through these.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me tell you, they love it. It's so fun.
Have a motion to open the meeting to the public for general matters and agenda items.
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Abbott, second by Councilman Murphy. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Madam Clerk.
Anyone wishing to address the Township Council may do so through the Council President. It is preferred if you give your name and address for the record. Comments are to be limited to 3 minutes. However, if appropriate, you may be granted additional time in the sole discretion of the Council President. Members of the public who have joined the meeting virtually and desire to provide comment shall raise their virtual hand in the Zoom application. The meeting moderator will cue the members of the public that wish to provide comment, and the Council President will recognize them in order. Members of the public who have joined the meeting by calling in must press *6 to mute and unmute themselves and *9 to raise their hand. Members of the public who have joined the meeting via the Zoom application must click the reactions icon and then the raise hand icon. Once the process is complete, we will return to the regular order of business.
Thank you. The floor is now open. I gather no one in our chat is coming before us. Thank you. No one in our council chambers is coming before us. Have a motion to close the public comment?
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Vanchery, second by Councilwoman Patel. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Mayor, items through 1 through 7, if you can elaborate on 3 as well.
Absolutely. Council President, we have a handful of items this evening that will largely be passed by resolution, a couple of new ordinances to discuss. The first is the tax refund resolution. This is a simple administrative refund. There was a taxpayer who made an overpayment in the fourth quarter last year, and they're simply being reimbursed as soon as this resolution is approved for that overpayment that was made in last year's fourth quarter payment. Any questions with respect to item number 1? All right. Item number 2 is the budget transfer resolution. And as we see from time to time throughout the year, oftentimes, especially with temporary budgets and in the final months of the year, we have to make some budget transfers. This one in particular, and the largest expenses being covered on this transfer are related to new township insurance costs, which are higher than ever. And as not only us here in Little Falls are seeing, but every municipality, at least in the state, I don't know through the country, are seeing significant increases in their insurance costs. So that's a majority of what this budget transfer is intended to cover, along with several other expenses. Any questions with respect to number 2? All right, moving on to number 3. It's a resolution authorizing the submission of a grant application for sanitary sewer cleaning and video inspection. And we have several sections of town that are eligible for special grant funding to assist in making improvements in the area. This one is one of those under what is called the CDBG grants, or the Community Development Block Grants, where we are seeking to receive a grant from the county this year in an effort to inspect and to ultimately, if we need to, do cleaning and lining of our sewer systems. This in particular would be addressed in the SINGAC section of our town. There are, as many people in town know, a lot of sewers in town that are now in excess of 100 years old. They are, not that they are failing, but they certainly can use maintenance from time to time, and at a bare minimum, inspections to ensure that they are running smoothly. This will allow for us to perform the inspections, make necessary repairs, as well as do linings if necessary through them. That is what this application is to the county, and this is simply the submission of the resolution authorizing the application to the county. Any questions with respect to item number 3? All right, moving on to item number 4. 4 and 5 somewhat go hand in hand here. They are annual renewals of liquor licenses. And in order to accomplish the correct liquor license renewal resolution, we need to rescind prior liquor license renewal resolutions. Again, 4 and 5 go together hand in hand. Any questions with respect to items 4 or 5? All right. Items number 6 and 7 also go somewhat together in the sense that they are both for fire prevention. One has to do with fire prevention, one has to do with the fees associated with it. And the first one in particular, Ordinance 1513, has to do with something called fire watches. And that's when there may be a fire protection system out of service in a building, and particularly with some of the newer buildings in town and the bigger buildings in town. If for some reason their fire protection system is out of service, it calls for our fire official being notified of that system being out of service, which may require the institution of something called a fire watch. And it essentially allows for individuals to, through our fire official, to watch the building to ensure that there are no fire-related issues in the event their system is down. That is largely what Ordinance 1513 addresses. It also will address some, payments and fees associated with that and things of that sort, which is really then what 1514 comes into account. And I'll do these together before I ask for questions. And it really addresses the fees associated with the local enforcement agency's ability to collect fees for non-life hazard uses in our buildings and common areas. And based upon the square footage of these buildings, there will be annual fees that each of these, that all buildings in town will have to pay.
Thank you, Mayor.
Any questions on 6 or 7 from the council?
Can I have a motion to approve resolutions A through H?
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Abbott, second by Councilman Murphy. This is a roll call. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Patel?
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Hablitz,
Yes.
Councilmember Vanchery?
Yes.
Council President Scoba.
Yes. Can I have a motion to approve the following applications?
So moved.
Moved by Councilwoman Patel, second by Councilman Vanchery. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Patel?
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Hablitz, Councilmember Vanchery?
Yes.
Council President Scoba.
Yes. Madam Clerk, ordinance 1512, please.
Second reading and public hearing of ordinance number 1512, an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the Township Council of the Township of Little Falls in the County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, to amend Chapter 3, Administration of Government of the Code of the Township of Little Falls.
The public hearing on ordinance 1512 is now open. Does anyone wish to speak on 1512? Seeing no one come before us, the public hearing on ordinance 1512 is now closed. Can I have a motion to adopt 1512? Moved by Councilwoman Howard, second by Councilman Vanchery. Please call the roll to adopt 1512.
Councilmember Patel?
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Hablitz, Councilmember Vanchery?
Yes.
Council President Scoba.
Yes. Madam Clerk, 1513, please.
Introduction of ordinance number 1513, an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the Township Council of the Township of Little Falls in the County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 82, Fire Prevention of the Code of the Township of Little Falls, with a second reading and public hearing scheduled for March 24th, 2025.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to introduce 1513?
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Patel, second by Councilman Vanchery. Madam Clerk, call the roll to introduce 1513.
Councilmember Patel?
Yes.
Council-
Oops, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm excited. I'm so excited for this ordinance. I just couldn't control
Okay,
myself.
Councilman Murphy, it's fine.
Councilmember Patel?
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Hablitz, Councilmember Vanchery?
Yes.
Council President Scoba.
Yes. It is noted that Councilman Murphy did get his marriage license tonight.
Little discombobulated right now.
Madam Clerk, read ordinance 1514.
Introduction of ordinance number 1514, an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the Township Council of the Township of Little Falls in the County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 71 fees, fire prevention fees of the Code of the Township of Little Falls with a second reading and public hearing scheduled for March 24th, 2025.
Have a motion to introduce 1514.
So moved.
Moved by Councilwoman Hablitz, second by Councilman Murphy. Please call the roll to introduce 1514.
Councilmember Patel?
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Hablitz, Councilmember Vanchery?
Yes.
Council President Scoba.
Yes. Okay, Councilman Murphy, lead us off.
Thank you, Council President. And anytime I hear fire prevention, it gets me very excited. Just to recognize, I want to congratulate the Little Falls competition cheer squads. Wish them the best. Had a good showing tonight, so it was good to see them all. Unfortunately, this past Tuesday, due to personal matters, I had to cancel our domestic violence awareness committee meeting. I'll be rescheduling that for later this month. We're just shoring up some dates, so I'll send that out once we have that all squared away. That's all I have, Council President. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Patel?
Thank you, Council President. Just want to mimic Councilwoman Murphy and congratulate all the girls. So the Clifton Health Department did receive a $4,000 grant to provide youth mental first aid training to Little Falls residents. So we're really excited about that. I'll keep you posted on when those are going to be scheduled. Earlier last year, I had spoken about the Clifton Health Department bringing the mindfulness program to the students of Little Falls, and now they're bringing it to our seniors. So every Tuesday between March 18th and April 15th from 10 to 11 at the Civic Center, they're bringing a program that's going to focus on senior mental health, anxiety, and holistic health. The program also has a social component to it, so it encourages seniors to speak with one another, have fun, engage in games, things of that nature. So if anyone's interested, you could still join, but the first one is going to be held next Tuesday on the 18th. And then finally, this Thursday, March 13th at 10 a.m., again at the Little Falls Civic Center, we're having a program on seasonal affect disorder. Dr. Joanne from Cork Chiropractic here in Little Falls, she's going to host this event. It's going to be informational, but also practical. There's going to be a 10-minute guided meditation to help combat a lot of these symptoms. The next Public Health Committee meeting is this Wednesday, March 12th. It's going to be at 7 o'clock right here in Town Hall. And then I just want to wish everyone a happy Ramadan and happy Holi to those that celebrate. That's all I have, Council President.
Thank you, Councilwoman Patel. Councilwoman Havelitz?
President. So first, I'd like to thank the mayor and council for recognizing Women's History Month. It was not even, well, a little over 100 years ago that women were not able to vote. And here we are, Councilwoman Patel and myself, sitting here representing Little Falls as your councilwomen. So very proud and thank you for that. Second, I'd like to congratulate the Little Falls competition cheer teams. A lot of you know, I started in this community on the LFFPA board, and football and cheering will always be near and dear to my heart. I've been a cheering mom and a football mom for many years. So congratulations to them. I know how it is to sit on the sidelines, watching your girls and, you know, hoping and praying that they win the competition. Some library updates. I'm happy to announce that the library is the proud recipient of the City Green Dig Into Community Garden Grant. The library will now have garden beds for programming and for our community. So congrats to all that was involved in getting that grant, Ann Kwadi and Miss Linda, who is the Children's Library Director. The library also had a read across America with guest readers, Mayor Damiano, and our own Little Falls teacher, Mrs. Salito. So thank you to both of them for attending the story time. And then lastly, our farmers market season is here and we are still accepting vendors. If you're interested in being a vendor, please reach out to Tyler Pissarro at tpissarro@littlefallsnj.gov, our new website. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Havelitz. Councilman Vanchery?
Thanks, Council President. Also want to echo congratulations to the two Little Falls cheer squads for an outstanding season. I had the pleasure of seeing them compete a couple times. Even I was there to cheer on my niece from Saddlebrook's cheer, but it was great seeing the girls out there and doing what they do. And kudos to Amber Baracco. If you know Amber, she's poured her heart and soul into this program the last 10 years. So we were happy to honor her tonight. And, you know, she was really grateful when she saw her parents here. She's like, why are they here? And then she realized what it was all about. So congrats to them. I do want to mention a couple things. You may have seen on social media last week, myself and Tyler Pissarro from the rec department met with the motor vehicles contacts that handle the mobile ID. I'm sorry, the mobile unit for the Real ID. So if you don't know by now, the Real ID is taking into effect on May 7th of this year. And what that means is if you are flying anywhere, including domestically, you need to have the Real ID. If you don't have the Real ID, then you have to bring your passport. And usually that can be a challenge because most people don't have a passport or haven't renewed their passport. So with that being said, had a chance to connect with the Motor Vehicles Commission and asked if we can get the mobile unit here. So I'm happy to report that it will be here on April 29th from 9 to 3 p.m. at the Little Falls Civic Center. Now, one thing I do want to let people know, and we are going to communicate this shortly once we are allowed to send out the link per the motor vehicles. The way it works is you have to make an appointment. And what Motor Vehicles does is they will send us a link that will go live on April 1st from 3 to 4 p.m. So what I encourage is once you see the communications, plan on being in front of a computer to try to log in. It may take a minute or two, but it does work. And I will warn you that the appointments fill up fast. We're looking at potentially having between 64 and 80 appointments available. And keep in mind also, it's open to anyone. So if you go on this link, you'll see other towns and all across the state that it's available. So it's not just you looking as a Little Falls resident, it's anyone can have access to that. So I just want to make sure everyone understands that it will go live. And like I said, we'll send out the communications through the email blast as well as our social media channels on April 1st. It will open at 3 p.m. So I encourage you, if you are looking to get an appointment, please do so. The other thing too is this week, Motor Vehicles actually launching the new initiative to make sure over almost 5,000 appointments are available every week, because what they are noticing is a lot of people haven't gotten their real ID and it's coming close to the deadline. So I just want to, just let everyone know. Couple other things, and I see, Mr. Brown's on the line. The long-awaited traffic light on Francisco and Cedar Grove Road, I think, has been the frustration for myself, Mr. Quattrone, Mayor Damiano, and Chief Prohl as well. We have been in touch with PSE&G to ask for an update, and we thought we were in a good place. And then we get a communications that there's still some work that needs to be confirmed on the back end with the engineers that were involved with the electrical. So we're hoping that they all get together this week and iron out the details so that this traffic light can be up and running finally, because it is frustrating seeing something that was put up 2 months ago still not working. And every time there is an accident or a near miss, my phone does blow up with that. So hopefully PSE&G and our engineers and the electricians can all work together to get this done. We're going to hound them this week as well to get another update, but hopefully soon. Again, it's not ideal. I wish it was done already, but it's not. Couple other things too is I had a conversation earlier today with Commissioner Orlando Cruz. I had mentioned last meeting, one of the things that I was working on was setting up a meeting with the county to meet at Wilmore Road Park to talk about adding some handicap parking spaces near the park, because we do hear from residents that are taking their grandkids to the park, as well as the residents that come to our concerts in the park. So after talking to Commissioner Cruz, we're looking at some time on Friday to meet at the park. He's going to get back to me this week with the time that works best for him. So Chief, once I have that information, hopefully you or someone from the traffic department can join us. He has no issue with adding the handicap signs, just a matter of the markouts, and then just doing what we need to do on our end as well as the county. So more to come on that. The other thing we're also working on is the annual flag raising for Autism Awareness Month. I'm looking at Tuesday, April 1st. I was going to email each of my colleagues to make sure everyone's available at 6 p.m. So I'm just working out the details on the flyer and a couple things we want to do that night. So I'll be in touch with you guys probably this week about that, and then I'll communicate it. And then lastly, myself, the mayor, the chief, as well as members of the traffic division, we met on Friday to talk about some items in town, including addressing some of the crosswalks. We're looking to be a little more consistent with how they look. So we're working with the traffic division as well as DPW, and also addressing some areas where we need to stripe the roads with no parking reminders, just so that people understand, like, there are, places where you can't park your car. So thank you for, sitting down to address that. And the traffic department is going to do the markouts, and then we'll regroup and then work with DPW to schedule the paintings to get done on all the spots in town. Council President, that's it for me.
Thank you, Councilman Vanchery. Chief, do you have anything for the governing body tonight?
I just have a couple things. Undoubtedly, everyone heard the Newark police officer that was killed in the line of duty. So I'd just like to, let the community, make the community aware. Little Falls will be there for the wake in some form or fashion. And our deepest condolences to his family and colleagues that he works with over there. Times like this, it causes us to reflect on the dangers of this profession that we've, all, assume. It's just unfortunate that Newark's going through what they're going through today. And it's, truly tragic. I believe the suspect is a 14-year-old juvenile. So just keep them in our thoughts and prayers. We have an accreditation hearing on Thursday that I'll be in attendance with some members of my staff. It's just a formality as far as I'm concerned, because we do have the reports from all the accreditation assessments. So there was no major trends in our reaccreditation. So that'll be for a period of 3 years. After the hearing, I'd like to schedule something with the State Chiefs Association, the and they'll present the reaccreditation certificate at a council meeting, if that's okay with the council president.
Very good. Thank you. Move ahead with that. This Wednesday, we have our Irish luncheon with the senior advisory. I'm happy to announce we have over 100 people showing up. We do put a cutoff date, but that doesn't seem to work very well with seniors. So, so maybe that we'll probably go over 100. That's going to take place from 12 to 3 at the Civic Center. Corned beef, cabbage, ziti, and a little salad. Those council members that can make it, be glad to see you there and help serve. At this time, can I have a motion to open the meeting to the public for agenda items? Moved by Councilman Vanchery, second by Councilwoman Havelitz. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Madam Clerk?
Anyone wishing to address the Township Council may do so through the council president. It is preferred if you give your name and address for the record. Comments are to be limited to 3 minutes. However, if appropriate, you may be granted additional time in the sole discretion of the council president. Members of the public who have joined the meeting virtually and desire to provide comment shall raise their virtual hand in the Zoom application. The meeting moderator will cue members of the public that wish to provide comment, and the council president will recognize them in order. Members of the public who have joined the meeting by calling in must press *6 to mute and unmute themselves and *9 to raise their hand. Members of the public who have joined the meeting via the Zoom application must click the reactions icon and then the raise hand icon. Once the process is complete, we will return to the regular order of business.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Seeing no one come before us in the council chambers, we have someone in the chat. Mr. Brown, can you hear us?
Yeah,
Mr.
I was just waiting to get unmuted. Thank you. How are you, Council President?
Good evening.
Good evening. Councilman Vanchery, thanks for the update on the light. I was going to ask. You saved me the trouble. I was a little late on today's call, and the reason I was late is I didn't know about the website change. Was there an announcement on that, or will there be one? Because I don't know if anyone knew that. I was on LFNJ, and I got the the error message, and luckily, my brother-in-law, who I think some of you may know, directed me to the right place.
Mayor, if you want to comment about how we notified?
Sure, yeah. So the link so there were some email blasts that went out about everybody's new email addresses in town, as well as the website being updated. We are working on having the old website or old domain forward to the new domain. The issue becomes because we have a .gov, a government approved website now, there are a lot more steps than there are having just a .com forward to a different .com email address. So our webmasters are working on that with our internal IT individuals here in town to try to make that happen. Unfortunately, it seems it's not as easy of a feat as everybody had hoped that would be, but we are working on having that redirected moving forward. But everything in the municipality moving forward, whether it be employee emails, council members, myself, we'll have littlefalls.gov, littlefallsnj.gov email addresses, the same as the website moving forward. The link for the Zoom for the council meetings has also remained the same since we started our Zoom account here in about 2020. So any old email Zoom link will also continue to open this particular Zoom for all council meetings moving forward.
We apologize that you had a little difficulty. Would you like to comment on the website itself?
Oh, he muted himself. You can mute him again, Melissa?
Mr. Barone?
No, he's muted.
No, they muted me. Sorry about that. Yeah, the website looks great. My only point was I haven't received a town email since like end of February. So I wonder if because it's a different email address, a web address, if it's going to spam or something, but just something to notice that you may have sent them, but I know a lot of people who didn't receive them. So myself included. So I don't doubt that you've been sending them out, but maybe there's an error with that because of the security settings.
Well, we appreciate you bringing that forward. We'll check with our IT department and make sure we can correct that. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Anything else?
Thank you. Nope, that's it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Have a motion to close the public comment? Moved by Councilman Vanchery, second by Councilman Patel. Those in favor?
Aye.
Are those opposed? Motion carries. I want to thank Mr. Controne, Madam Clerk, and Melissa for helping me put this meeting together. This one was quite a challenge. I know we had a lot of last minute changes. Thank you for your patience. Have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Vanchery,
Second.
second by Councilman Murphy. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? This meeting is now closed.